Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As everybody's been requesting, the AMG roof spoilers for the W177. There doesn't seem to be any videos out there at the moment. Well, not good videos anyway of how to fit these. So we're going to do our best to show you step by step how to fit these roof spoilers. They are very challenging. You do have to drill. Isaac, if you just come a little bit closer. So you need to drill 3 holes on this side. Hole in the top, and then 3 holes at this side. If you get any one of these holes wrong or slightly out, it will throw the entire spoiler off. So you've got to make sure that you're measuring. We've done this hundreds of times, so you're probably going to see it looks really easy for us. Don't take this video as it being easy. It's not easy at all. So just follow the steps. I'll be talking you through it all the way through. We're going to start, Isaac's going to take this roof section off. We're going to show you how to do that. Always do it with this off, because you need to be getting under here to be able to mark where you're going to drill. So dead easy to get this off. We'll do that first, and then I'll come back to you for the install. Okay, so the first thing that we need to be doing is removing this plastic trim. So this is just on pop clips. So you've got a pop clip here. So take off the parcel shelf hangers. Got a pop clip here. Pop clip here. So around about here. One here, one here, one here, and one here. So you've got altogether about 4 pop clips that you need to get off. So Isaac's just going to get a trim tool behind there. So it can be quite tight on this edge here. So just get a trim tool behind it. And you can see it just pops off. Use some force, don't be scared of it. The worst that can happen is that the clips will just literally come off the cradle. You won't break the clips because they are metal. And that is all the clips. So behind here, you've got this plug. You've got that 10mm. You've got that black plug. You've got that for the washers. Then you've got another 10mm here. And then you've got your electrics just on that one. And you've got 10mm on these sides. So you've got that one. And then you've got that one as well. So Isaac's just going to take that first one out. Now be careful with these. If you drop them inside, you're going to need to remove these in order to get it out. So try your best just to get it out nice and steady. That's the first plug. That is the second plug. That's the electrics. And then you might need to use a little flathead screwdriver for these. I'm not sure if Isaac has got his own little method, but take that off. That's for your washers. And that is literally it. So then pull the boot down. Now, this is still quite tight on, so Isaac, can you just show them how tight this is still on? Still really tight. So don't be fooled into thinking that you've missed anything after following those steps. You just need to give it a really good firm. There you go. And then just work it off the middle. that center clip is holding it there. So, and there you go, roof section off. Okay, so the next stage of the install is to mask where you're going to be marking. Okay, so first of all, we're going to mask underneath here and then just on the top. Then we're going to mask just up here. I don't go all the way across because it's just a waste of tape. Obviously, we don't want to be wasting too much, so I know where to do it. So just try and stick to the guide when you're doing it. We're going to mask up here so that we can mark the top struts, and same at the other side. Try and get it as straight as you can, because you want your pen line to be as straight as possible as well. Don't worry about it being creased up here. You don't really need this. It's this bit here you need to be concentrating. Just go all the way to the back. Like I said before, we do make it look easy because we've done it so many times. So please don't take that for granted and then end up rushing it yourself, because you will be disappointed with the end result. So nice and straight under there. So that's where you're going to be marking your line. And that is it, that's masked. So now the next part is to build the spoiler. Okay, so the next part of the video, we're going to build the spoiler. So obviously this is the main piece. Now, it does guide you where to put the struts. We'll show you how to make sure they're seated properly. And then on the ends, these need drilling. The other pieces that you need. So these are your end caps. These are the last thing that you install. These are your carriers. Very important that you get these right. And we're going to install these on to this section here. These are very important to get right as well. These are what's actually going to be screwed or riveted, in our case, into your roof section. These are your struts. Again, very important you get these right. These are the carriers that go inside your struts. These are the back doors, which go here, and then obviously your bag of fixings as well. Okay, so tools for this one. You need a 4mm drill bit. Do not use a 5, it's too big for the rivets. And then on our drill, we've got a very, very small, if you can see that, a very small pilot drill bit. And we're going to use this to pilot the holes on the spoiler. Okay, so first piece we're going to pop on is the side carrier, where it needs to be, and then I pilot the first hole. Pilot the second one. Now you will have screws in your kit. I just like to use our screws, which are just slightly thicker, but it really does not matter. It's just my personal preference. So just use your piloted holes there. First screw in, and then second screw in. And that's the first side done. So we'll go to the other side. And then just repeat. Nice and central. And just pilot. first one in. And then second one in. And that is your cradles attached. So the next phase of this, we're going to turn it upside down and we're going to put our struts in here. Again, I just use our screws. You do not need to pilot these. So I'll just use the pressure of the screw, which I'll show you to do. You must do this with a hand screwdriver because you don't want to put too much pressure on plastic. What's important as well is that these are actually handed. So if you can see that, Isaac, so you can see that it's slightly chamfered that way. That is your left side. So that is how it sits on the roof. Okay, so you've got to make sure that that's flat. Do not put that on the other side because it's obviously just going to sit upwards and it's not going to be flush. So left side, you'll see a little posi. You probably see that on the end there. That needs to go in this little bit here. Just push it in. And then it will just naturally sit where it needs to be. Just apply a little bit of pressure. Just let the screw go. Just until it stops. You don't need to tighten these. Just to that point there. Okay, the next one. Same again. You can see inside there's a hole. It tells you where you need to screw, so I don't really need to show you that. And then just hand tight, and that's nicely down. So the next part is we need to put the cradles in now. So the cradles, they go in with screws. Just get the fixings out here. Okay, these are the first two. So the first one goes in here, just sits in nicely, and then the second one into here just sits in nicely as well. Again, we're going to use a hand screwdriver for these. So put your screws all the way in, tighten it all the way up. You will need to remove these again before you fit it, because you obviously need to route these to the roof. This second one can be quite challenging if you've not got a magnetic screwdriver. And again, just hand tight. That's the first one in. Okay. And the next one. Hand tight. You'll feel it grab. Just wind it until it stops. Okay, and those are in. So now we're going to offer it up to the roof and we're going to mark it. Okay, so the next part of this video, you're going to need a Sharpie pen, a black one. I'm not sure if you can see that on the video. And you're going to need two people. You cannot do this bit on your own. If you do, I guarantee you're going to mess it up. So you need two people for this. So Isaac, can you come around the other side? So just polish the edge. Okay, so offer the spoiler up to the car or up to the roof. Okay, so the main thing, we're just going to mark this, and then I'm going to show you, we're going to get the camera off the tripod, we're going to show you exactly what we've done here. It's just a bit difficult because we need 2 people. So make sure that your edges are really flush down. You've got no gaps, especially up at the top as well. So if you just grab hold of that one, have you got it? So your helper, whoever it is you've got helping, you must not allow this side to move at all. It's really important. And naturally yourself, make sure you don't move this side. So I'm quite happy with the positioning of that. I've done it by eye, which is how I do most of these now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark only the carrier. I'm not going to mark the entire thing. I only want to mark the carrier because it's the carrier that I'm going to be drilling in. So with the pen, just mark the carrier on the edge. And while you're at this side, just mark the strut as well. You're just literally just drawing around it, you're just stenciling around it. Okay. And then you need to hold both sides while your helper comes to the other side. Okay. Yeah. Always make sure that your helper is ready for you to move, because if you move, you're doing it again. So same on this side. You're just marking the carrier. You're not marking the entire thing. So nice clear line on the carrier. Keeping hold of it, don't let it move. Just press down on the roof, make sure that you are flat before you stencil this. And that is it. You can literally remove the spoiler from the roof. So you can see now we have this stencil. We have this one. And then underneath we have this line. And that's the line of your carrier. Okay. And the same at this side as well. You can see that. And that's the line of your carrier. Okay, so basically what we were doing, can you just hold that side again, Isaac? So we're holding the spoiler here to make sure that there's no gaps, and the same here to make sure that's flush down to the roof. So no gaps here, nice and flush. And then underneath, that's the carrier. So the plastic piece there, not this, this. That's the piece that you're marking. So you just run in a line from this end to the other end. Okay. And then you're going to stencil out your struts. Okay, so the next piece, we're now going to remove these carriers, ready to install onto the roof. Okay. So again, you're using a hand screwdriver. You don't want to be using power tools for this piece. I know it's quite tempting, but remove the first screw. And the second one. Pull that out. Magnetic screwdriver always helps. And then we pull the carrier off. If you just pop around here, Isaac. So you'll see now why we mark where we mark. So on this line here, that is the beginning of the line there, and that is the end of the line. And this is where we're going to drill into here. Okay. So I'll remove that. You can see this part of the cradle is in line with that line. You can see how it nicely sits flush there as well. And that's what you're aiming for. If you don't have this and you've got gaps up here, or you're not quite on the line, you do not drill. Okay, it's a one chance saloon, so do not drill. Just do it all again. All right, so we're going to get the other side off. Again, magnetic screwdriver always helps. And we'll get this one off as well. Okay, so the next phase of this is drilling. So this is a very nerve-wracking part for you. Let me just get my drill. So again, we're going to pilot first. This is the most important part. You must get this right. So you make sure you're on your line. You're nice and flush. I tend to hold here just so I can get to all three. Try not to hold there because you need to drill there. And what I like to do as well, it is now flush on this line. I keep my thumb on this piece. I just like to angle this down a little bit. Something like there. And what that does, it allows the struts at the top to sit flush on the front. So it's pulling the front of the spoiler downward. Okay, so the very first time I did this, believe me, I was shaking with the drill, and I'm quite sure you'll be doing the same as well. So just pilot the first hole. I tend to just leave it there, don't go all the way in, just mark it. Second one, and then the third one. So you see now, we've got our hole marks there, so I'll just finish them off with the pilot. Same for that one. Same for that one. Okay, can we remove your tape now? That's your point of no return. So you've drilled your holes. Make sure they're right. Okay. So I'm just going to do the other side before I change the drill bit. So we're going to change the drill bit into a 4mm for these, just so the rivets can go in nice and easy. So again, just make sure that you are on your line. Okay, the line is there. And then just angle it down a touch. And then pilot your first hole. Remove your tape. And then you need to swap your drill bit onto your 4mm drill. And then finish your holes. That's all you need to do. Don't go too far in on that one. You don't need to. Just go in as far as your rivet will go. And then the same here. Just let the drill bit cut for you first. So see how it's cut in first, and then you can speed it up a little bit. And that is it. That's the most difficult piece done. Okay. So now with your rivets, I like to put all three in first, really, so we know where we are. So first one in, second one in, Third one in. Push it in with the gun. First one in. And there you have a nice neat finish on the roof section. Okay, so same for the other side. First one in. Second one in. And then your third one. Okay, and that is where you need to be with it. So you can see it's nice and flush. Same on the top. Okay, so the next part of it is your carriers. Okay, so here's your carrier. So this piece here, this is your front clip. Now what you don't want to do is come too far back here, because if you have a look here, this is where your clip is going to go. You've literally got 1/2 mil to play with. So on your carrier, you'll see that that's the piece that's going to be clipping in. Okay, you must make sure that's in. So on your stencil, pull it not as far to the front as you can, but just pull it just a little bit back from that line, so where you can see it's going to literally clip in to there. So I use this little outline here. So can you see the outline? I come back literally that far, so I know it's going to clip in just like that. Okay, so I'll just get my drill. So again, we're going to pilot these. So the best way of doing it, nice and neat. So make sure it's nice and straight. And then just pilot your... That's the first one done. Okay. Now the same at the other side. Don't forget to get your cradles in the right way. Same again. That is it. That is all the drilling that you need to do done. So we now remove the tape. We're literally just going to run screw straight through that hole. A nice little pilot hole there. Okay. And again, I always advise doing this by hand. So again, you've got screws in your pack. I just like to use these ones. Just apply some pressure to get it going. And just let it go of its own volition. Now you're not tightening these down mega tight. I want it to be able to just move a little bit like this, just so that we can get the cradles on properly. If you tighten it too tight, you're giving yourself no movement. So that's pretty much where it needs to be. just so you've got some movement there. Same for this side. There we go. And that's your cradles down. So the next part, we're going to now lift the spoiler on, making sure you're getting these in your cradles or your struts here, making sure it all sits nice, which it does. And I like to snap these down first. So the first one, nice and easy, and then the second one, both snap down nice and easy there, as you can see. And the only thing left to do now is to put these screws back in. I always put the first one in, or this one in first, which is closest to the front, which gives you that little bit of leverage for the back one. Hand tight. Hand tight. And same for the next side. Hand tight. Then your last screw. Again, hand tight. It's a bit of a screamer, this one. There we go. Okay, and that's it. That's anchored down. So in your pack, Isaac, if you just come down here, so you see these little screws here. You've got two longer screws. Okay, these two longer screws is what goes in the back of here. Okay, so the first one, just apply some pressure. Get started first. Apply some pressure down so it's nice and flat. Run this into hand tight. Just like that. And then same on the other side. We run this hand tight as well. Just like that. Now you can see, as it goes around, we've got no gap here. We've got literally no gap here. Same at the other side. And that is literally an OEM fit. A lot of people cannot see the difference between that and OEM. So the next bit we're going to put in now, just the back doors. Which are these little things here. So the first one, just snap it in, just like that. And the second one, just snap it in, just like that, nice and steady. Don't be too rough with them. And then we're going to get our end pieces. So the first one, I start at the bottom and just rock it upwards. Snap them on. Same again. And that is it. That is the spoiler installed. So the next part of the install is to put it back on the car. Now, with our spoilers, we do have these little spoilers as well, which we are going to fit, which go on the back here. It's literally just tape that we're going to use for this, and it just finishes the spoiler off nicely. So I'm going to put some tape on this, we'll pop it on, we'll come back to you. Okay, so what we do with these little spoilers, so we use tape. We also just put a little bit of Bonder just on those little bits as well. And then it's not going anywhere. Okay, so the final piece is popping it back on. So you're just going to do this in reverse. So nice and steady, make sure it's in those little holes there. Push down until you hear it pop. And just pop down in your centres. They're in nicely. Open your boot. I like to put my bolts in first. So I put my 2 edge 10mm back in. And then your centres, be careful not to drop these in, as I mentioned before. So the bolts, and then we're just going to pop all the plugs back in that you saw us take out before. Make sure that they're all in. Then your washer jet, make sure that's in and nicely clipped in properly. Can be a bit challenging, that one. There we go. And then your electrics. Okay, but that's everything plugged in. Customer's got a dash cam or a rear camera here, so we just need to make sure that we store these wires back where we had them originally. And then I like to just do this by hand, just locate see how it just nicely clips in there. Just locate your clips by hand, don't rush it, and it will just clip in very nicely. Because we've got that one. So we've got those ones ready to go. And then same with that one, that's now ready to go as well. I'll just pop this one in. Slightly out there. Go. Yep. So once you're happy that everything is lined up, just give it a nice good firm push. The centres as well. Make sure it's all lined up on the edge, which it is. And that is the reinstall of the roof section complete. Just pop your parcel shelf back on. And that is literally everything. Just make sure I'm not left any tools. And that is it. So the last piece is to just give it a nice wipe over. Just all your working areas, just give them a nice wipe over. It's just good practice. Make sure everything's still nicely lined up, which it is. There we go. That's it. So got the roof spoiler fully installed now. No gaps, which is what you want to avoid. Some of the cheap eBay spoilers, they will gap exponentially here and then here as well. And you don't want that. You know, if you're drilling into your roof section, you want it to be right every time. It's a one chance saloon. So make sure that all your drilling is correct. Like I said, we've made that look easy because we've done hundreds of these spoilers now. But I'm fully aware that you haven't done one yet. So just take your time, especially with your drilling. Make sure everything's lined up. Make sure that everything's nice and flush. Make sure you've got 2 people just to hold it. Take your time, and it is absolutely something that you can do at home. If you're not confident, I would always advise bringing it to us or any other professional. I'm not aware of anybody who does as many as we do, so how perfect they would get them, I don't know. But it is not rocket science. So if you follow the steps, take your time, you'll get it absolutely bang on, which is pretty much what we've got here. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do like our videos, we are going to be doing more videos as time goes on different parts of installs, quad tips, especially on Mercedes, Badgers. We've done the grill. So more videos are coming. So yeah, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you for the next one.